Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. First, can I just start with a thank God we are in Maryland. And I am really proud of Maryland because Maryland, once again, continues to show what right looks like and what type of leadership is demanded and required in Southern. Well, please sit down, everybody. I apologize. Sorry, yeah. And what is required in this moment. I want to say how thankful I am to have extraordinary partners in this work and to have such a chance to work so closely for these past 90 days with our Senate President Bill Ferguson and with our Speaker Jocelyn Peña-Melnyk. I am so grateful for both of you and for the leadership and continue to show. And I say that I am proud of Maryland for a reason. I'm proud of us. I'm proud of the fact that what we're watching just south of us is for the past 90 days, we watched chaos unfold. Just to the south of us, we watched a government that in this year has been closed longer than it's been open. We watch people with an absolute refusal, not just to work together, but to even be in the same room with one another. But the thing and why I'm so proud of Maryland is that in this moment, we did not just push back. We pushed forward. We protected our folks. At a time when we were watching in Washington, D.C. that cannot find common ground or common cause on common sense issues. I was speaking with someone earlier and reminded that this now being, our fourth complete session, that for all the bills that our administration has introduced since I've been the governor, that we have now, for all the bills we've introduced and gotten passed, that 97% of them have been passed bipartisan. Democrat and Republican supports. That at a time when we're watching Marylanders and Americans as a whole getting crushed by skyrocketing costs over this past year, that we did something really unique in Maryland. We worked together. And we worked together to address the cost of utilities, address the cost of housing, address the cost of childcare, address the cost of groceries, knowing that we know that we are not the ones who are responsible for what is happening, but I'll be damned if we just sit on our hands and let it happen. That at a time when we're watching a White House that is tearing apart the Department of Education, that here in Maryland, we delivered historic supports for education, $10.1 billion to support public education inside of the state of Maryland. Because we are going to support our promise and uphold our promise of making sure that we have the best public schools in this country, and results, by the way, do matter. That results are showing that just in these past years, that third grade reading in the state of Maryland has jumped 20 states, and we have now seen improvements in math and reading in virtually every grade inside of the state of Maryland. That we've delivered record investments in local law enforcement. That over the past 3 years, Maryland has had amongst the fastest drops in violent crime anywhere in the United States of America. Violent crime is down nearly 50% since Inauguration Day. And in January, we laid out 3 objectives on things that we would work on together. 1, we would make life just a little bit more affordable for the people of Maryland. 2, we would protect the people of Maryland from the ravages that we are seeing from Washington, D.C. And 3, we're going to make Maryland more economically competitive. And, by the way, we're going to do it and have no new taxes and no new fees on the people of Maryland. Now, meeting all those goals, it required all of us working together. And I cannot thank everybody enough for making that real. I can't thank enough our amazing Lieutenant Governor Aruna Miller. I cannot thank enough our extraordinary House Speaker Jocelyn Peña-Melnyk, who, by the way, for your first session, Madam Speaker, well done, girl. She just grabbed that mantle. She's like, I got this. To my friend and my partner inside this work, Senate President Bill Ferguson. Once again, thank you so much, Mr. President. To our committee leaders in the House and in the Senate, to my remarkable legislative office and legislative team, Jeremy Baker, Jeremy and his entire team, well done. To our amazing cabinet and remarkable public servants, including our Secretary of Health, Dr. Meena Sheshamani. It is wonderful to be with you, and thank you. To our Maryland Insurance Administration Commissioner, Marie Grant. Where's Marie Grant? It's wonderful to see you. And most importantly, to all the Marylanders, some of who traveled from all over the state to come testify, to come advocate. Many people who came here and shared stories about your life that broke all of our hearts. Many of whom who had to come and do it multiple times, over multiple years. We see you. We're thankful that you made your voices heard, because in that, you've made our state better. This session is yours too. And while it's my signature that will enact these bills into law, I want to say to all of you, it is your hands that are all over the pen. And so while some will say that this was a very successful session for our administration, because we passed all of our bills bipartisan, or a very successful session for our legislative body, I want to be clear. Who this session was successful for was for the people of Maryland. Because of these next few bill signings, you will hear from us about the things that we were able to get done together, the things we accomplished together. And today, I'll be signing over 140 bills. So it's days like today that I'm thankful that God made me ambidextrous. And two of the pieces of legislation that we are going to sign today are centered on protecting our people. And at a time when we're watching how lives and livelihoods are being put at risk by a reckless ideology, we are making sure that we're going to do our part. That at a time when Maryland is filling the $40 million gap in SNAP funding created by this administration's domestic policy agenda, we are going to make sure that, as always, the health, the welfare, and the safety of the people of the state of Maryland will always be protected. And so today, I am proud to sign HB 637, Senate Bill 385, or better known as the VAX Act. So in January, I stood with doctors and nurses at the University of Maryland Capital Region Medical Center in Prince George's County. And Washington, they told us that Washington is making their jobs harder because the federal government went from data-driven decisions to kind of choose your own adventure. So this bill decouples the state's vaccine authority from the federal government's, because our vaccine policy in the state of Maryland will be driven by science and not driven by internet conspiracy theories. And this is not about an ideology. It's just simply about protecting your people and hoping that the people of your state could get the same type of supports and treatments that you would hope for your own families. The same type of science, the same type of data, the same type of access, and also making sure that insurance companies can cover that as well. And that includes our children and our young people from preventable and avoidable diseases. That we will protect them no matter where they call home and no matter how they voted in the last election. And honestly, this is a philosophy that we have in the state of Maryland that I wish the Trump-Vance administration understood. Today, I am also very proud to sign House Bill 1221, Senate Bill 624, the Jillian and Lindsay Weiner Short-Term Rental Safety Act. It was sponsored and led by the remarkable leadership of Delegate Foley and Senator Feldman. Thank you both so much. And it was inspired by what happened in the summer of 2022, where the Weiner family took a vacation, a family trip. The kind of family trip that we hope that all families get a chance to enjoy and spend time, connect and reconnect. And at 3:30 in the morning, the walls of the kitchen were on fire. No alarms, just silence. And two daughters, two sisters, Jillian, who was just 21, Lindsay, who was 19, never made it out. Jillian was studying environmental science and planning to save the coral reefs. Lindsay could walk into a room of 100 people and leave with 100 new best friends. Jillian and Lindsay should be here today. We're grateful, though, that their mother, Elisa, is. We're grateful that she has turned pain into progress, and she has turned hurt into heroism. Because of her courage, because of her will, because they chose to turn the worst moment of their lives into a fight for other families who they might never even meet nor ever even know. But they will benefit from your work. This bill requires fire detection and prevention equipment in every short-term rental in the state of Maryland. It mandates annual inspections. It ensures accountability, because our job is to make sure that people are protected in their homes and in their communities and everywhere where they are. We're telling every family that has ever lost someone and turned their grief into action that your courage changes lives and your courage saves lives. We're telling the people of Maryland, we will protect your access to the care and the supports that you need. And we're making it clear to Washington and everyone else that in Maryland we protect our people. Today, tomorrow, and always. That the bills that we're here to sign are because people showed up. That the ones who testified and advocated, today's because of you. We're thankful for people like Dr. Pani Rowe, family physician. We're thankful for people like Dr. Monique Solo-Burke, a pediatrician. We're thankful for people like Dr. Bailey Cannon, an OBGYN. And we're thankful for the mother who testified before the House Economic Matters Committee, Elisa Weiner. During her testimony, she said, "Nothing will change the outcome of that night for my family and me. But I'm here because I know this bill will save lives." Elisa, you're right. It will save lives. And your courage and your conviction is the reason why. And so I'm honored to present to you the first pen for this legislative session. And on behalf of 6.5 million Marylanders, thank you for making us all better. And God bless you. And with that, I am honored to turn the podium over to my partner inside the work, Senate President Bill Ferguson.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I am so pleased to be here at the conclusion of our 2026 session on what was an incredibly impactful year. It's very difficult almost to believe that 13 weeks ago, how we started in January, where we were to where we are today. From the very beginning, we knew we had to hit the ground running with a bold agenda. We focused, as the governor said, on what matters most to the people of Maryland: increasing affordability for families, growing our economy, and protecting our state from an increasingly lawless federal administration. Simply put, growth, affordability, and protecting Marylanders have guided our work in the Senate every step of the way. I'm immensely proud of our Senate leadership team. We have a number of our members who are here today. Chair Feldman, who did some remarkable work on the energy package as well. I see Senator Hester. I see Senator Zucker, who has been an incredible lead for our Democratic caucus and capital budget. Senator Lamb, who helped lead the way on protecting our immigrant communities and a number of vulnerable communities. I'm probably missing someone. If I am, please charge it to my head and not the heart. I could stand here all day thanking each individual senator because of the incredible work that they do. I'm also incredibly proud of our leadership team. We had hard issues this year in JPR and EEE and budget and finance, and the committee is where all of the work truly gets done. With our Senate agenda, and because we knew that Maryland was one of the most vulnerable states in the country to what's happening at the federal level, we knew we had to start with growth, despite the headwinds. We made targeted investments to strengthen Maryland's economy, and we created more opportunities in every region of the state. We're building a future economy that is innovative and adaptive by leaning into Maryland's unique assets like the port and highway infrastructure. At the time where Maryland families are feeling squeezed more than ever, we took meaningful steps to make Maryland more affordable. We lowered cost where it matters most, from energy and housing to healthcare to everyday expenses. We provided relief and assisted Maryland families while maintaining fiscal discipline and for protecting our long-term stability. Finally, we also know that we recognized many Marylanders are concerned about the decisions that are being made every single day at the federal level and how they impact our state economy. You can take that too, please. No, just kidding. During this session, we knew that we had to protect our values. We had to build a wall around Maryland to protect the most vulnerable from what is happening at the federal government level. We ensured that our immigrant communities have due process by curtailing engagement with an increasingly lawless ICE and prohibiting masking for law enforcement. We passed legislation like the Voting Rights Act to protect the right to vote, the No Kings Act so that every single person's rights are protected, and to make sure that Maryland is a place where democracy and fairness prevail. Although we're not signing those bills here today, the first bill signing after the conclusion of the 2026 session represents what we can achieve together when we solve complex problems and work in unity. I want to go just slightly off script for a second to thank both of my partners in the work, the governor and his administration, as well as Speaker Peña-Melnyk. I remember my first year as the Senate president. Fortunately, she did not have to deal with an impending pandemic. So on that front, the challenges, though, were still quite great. And I have to say, as a fellow presiding officer, it was truly remarkable to see the poise and stability that she was able to offer a chamber. And it was a true pleasure working with her throughout these 90 days to make sure that Marylanders' problems were solved. I want to say thank you. It was a wonderful year. Thank you, thank you.
Feeling is mutual.
Thank you. Final point. As we are living in a time post-COVID where our politics are mired in hate and division, and it's easier to fight than it is to find a way to solve problems, the only way forward is to get the work done. It's to deliver for people. That is the job, and that is what we did in partnership and in unity, and I'm so honored and privileged to have had the opportunity to do so. With that, let me hand it over to that wonderful leader of my sister chamber, the incredible Speaker of the House, Jocelyn Peña-Melnyk.
Thank you very much. My heart goes out to you, and thank you so much for making a difference. Good afternoon, everyone. When parents talk about watching their kids grow up, one thing they will often say is that the years are short, but the days are long. I'm not suggesting that presiding over the House of Delegates is like raising children. It isn't. But recently, the days have been long indeed. Now, the 2026 General Assembly session was my first session as Speaker, and it's in the books. And I have to say that I'm proud of what we have accomplished. Working together with the governor, with my brother in the other chamber, President Ferguson, and so many wonderful folks around the state circle, whether it was the committee staff, the amendment office, DLS, the troopers, the clerk's office, the other chamber, all the committees, the chairmans and the vice chair and the members, the people that clean the facility, everyone. It takes a village for us to do what we did in 90 days. That's all we had. That's not a lot of time. But I must say this was a highly productive session. And I think the reason is that we never forgot, as the Senate president and the governor said, who we're working for. Time and time again, we put the people first, and that is the truth. Throughout this session, we focused relentlessly on 3 priorities: affordability, accountability, and opportunity. And every bill we looked at it with that lens. The centerpiece of our response to Maryland's affordability crisis, and I know you have heard this so many times, but it is a big deal. And I want to thank Senator Feldman and Chairman Corman for their outstanding leadership. The Utility Relief Act. It delivers real relief for ratepayers. It's not just a one-time $150 a year. It is, as Chairman Corman says, medium and long-term relief and transformative. The other issue that I'm really proud, and I want to thank the governor for your leadership, is housing. I have 3 kids, and I worry whether they'll be able to afford a home, a modest home like the one my husband and I have. In this General Assembly, we did something big to make sure that they have options, that it will be a possibility with the bills that we passed to address housing affordability and availability, because we have over 100,000, a shortage of 100,000 homes in Maryland. And we made it easy by making sure that we get rid of the red tape and that people can come here and invest and develop. Another major expense facing Maryland families is childcare. And I'm so proud of our chamber and what we did for childcare. We opened the wait list for the children that are on the wait list, and is going to clear 3,700 names off that list to allow families to afford quality childcare. We did that. Our commitment to accountability show up time and time again. We're requiring agencies to follow through on audit findings and strengthening financial leadership in government and bringing greater transparency to state contracts and real estate deals that can cost millions. Because we respect the money. We respect the budget. We're showing accountability in how we treat our children as well, by limiting the number of charges that automatically send kids to adult courts. We did that. It took 14 years for that bill to pass. And I thank the chair of the Judiciary Committee, Chair Bartlett, for doing that work, and Smith in the Senate as well, because it does take 2 chambers. A bill has to pass 2 chambers in the exact posture by midnight and make it to your desk. And it is a big deal. And we passed Kanaya's law. And I worked in a bipartisan way where I went to the Senate and I gave testimony with Delegate Griffith, who actually introduced Kanaya's law. And we sat there at that desk and we provided that testimony together to make sure that we protect children in the foster care system, that we don't fail them, that we do not place them in hotels, in homeless shelters, we have to treat them like we treat our own, because they're our responsibility. And we're pushing hard on the Trump-Vance administration regarding their immigration enforcement. I know that the Senate president touched on it, but I'm really proud of our work. And I'm proud because our brothers and sisters live here. They deserve to live with dignity, with respect. Okay? It's important to treat people with kindness. And we did that this session by demanding honesty and transparency when you plan a detention facility, by not allowing law enforcement to wear masks. It is horrible what we're experiencing in this country. And a lot of what you saw in the House and the Senate and what the governor will sign today is us protecting Marylanders from the federal government and their actions. Because we have to meet the moment, and that is important. The state's $77.8 billion budget reflects our values. We have money in there for major transportation upgrades, money to fund the blueprint and higher education, because education is the key that unlocks opportunity. I know because I'm the poster child. How it allows you opportunities. And we made significant investment in basic human needs, like food and energy assistance and protecting Medicaid. We have 1.4 million people on Medicaid in Maryland. And the federal government is not protecting people on Medicaid, but we're doing it. And with this budget and everything we have done, honest to God, we have created opportunities and have protected the people of Maryland. And I'm very proud of the work that we did in the House and the Senate. And my colleagues that are here from the House, you know, it takes a village. And it was my first session, but I feel so loved and protected and supported, and I don't take it for granted. I'm only as strong as my team. My chief of staff and my team, they work so hard every single day, whether they were in the office at 2, 4 in the morning. And I do not take that for granted. Now let's go sign those bills.
House Bill 637, Senate Bill 385. Can we just do it? Test. Can you hear it? Test. House Bill? Can you hear? House Bill 637, Senate Bill 385, Public Health. Recommendations for immunization, screenings, and preventative services, Pharmacist Administration and Required Health Insurance Coverage, the VAX Act. Test, test, test. House Bill 1221, Senate Bill 624, Public Safety, Short-Term Rental Units Safety, Jillian and Lindsay Weiner, Short-Term Rental Safety Act.
great job, man.
House Bill 1221, Senate Bill 624, Public Safety, Short-Term Rental Unit Safety, Jillian and Lindsay Weiner Short-Term Rental Safety Act.
All right, folks, can we move along, please? Somebody quick down here. There you go. Keep coming, we got room, keep coming. Right here, you got it done. Thank you very much. Next bill, please. All right, folks.
House Bill 280, Senate Bill 205, Health Insurance, Mental Health and Substance Use Disorders, Codification of Federal Requirements.
Dear, how are you? Good to see you.
House Bill 280. Thank you very much. Looking great. Next bill, please.
Senate Bill 861, House Bill 1071, Environment, Stormwater Management for Agrotourism.
House Bill 861. House Bill 861. Right here, please. Thank you. You guys look back. Next bill, please. All right, thank you, folks. Get to the door, please.
House Bill 804, Senate Bill 860, Department of Aging, Aging Resilience Fund, Establishment. Not being fresh. Looks better in the picture. I'm not being fresh. Looks better in the picture. Senator. She was asking.
Bill 860. You guys are the heroes. Thank you very much. You're great. Next bill, my folks. Thank you very much.
House Bill 472, Senate Bill 440, Income Tax, Theatrical Production Tax Credit, Alterations and Sunset Extension.
Bill 472, this one's for you. That is great. Next bill, please.
House Bill 1142, Task Force to Modernize County and Municipal Revenue Structures.
All right, folks, please come on down. We have plenty of room down here, please. Keep coming in. Keep coming in. It's not more space up here.
House Bill 118, Senate Bill 261, Maryland Money Transmission Act, Definition of Money Transmitter, Alteration.
Bill 118. Next bill, please.
Senate Bill 492, House Bill 975, Health Occupations, Massage Therapy, Advertising.
We have a little bit more room down here, folks. We can get you all in. $975, let's look alive. Thank you very much. Next bill, please.
House Bill 1002, Senate Bill 493, Nursing Facilities, Involuntary Discharge or Transfer. I'm not being fresh. The picture will look nicer without that on.
Come in with the title on the left. The title on the left. Looking good. Now, Bill 1002, this one's for you. Thank you. Next bill.
Senate Bill 907, House Bill 1389, Public Health, Female Genitalia Mutilation.
Ma'am? Come on, ma'am. Awesome. You guys are great. Next bill.
House Bill 380, Senate Bill 186, State Board of Examiners in Optometry, examination requirements and time period for inactive status.
House Bill 380, you're the hero, right here. Thank you very much. Next bill, please.
House Bill 7, Senate Bill 88, State Board of Examiners for Audiologist, Hearing Aid Dispensers, Speech Language Pathologist, and Music Therapist. Authority to issue limited licenses to practice music therapy.